So you have noticed water pooling around the base of your toilet, or maybe there is a faint sewer smell coming from the bathroom that you just cannot track down. 9 times out of 10, that means your wax ring has failed. Now, a lot of folks put this job off because they are worried about cracking the toilet, making a huge mess, or ending up with a bigger problem than they started with. I get it. But here's the thing. Replacing a wax ring is one of the most straightforward plumbing repairs you can do at home, and I am going to walk you through the entire process step by step so nothing gets broken and nothing gets messy. Stick around to the end, because I am going to share a tip about wax-free alternatives that could save you from ever doing this job again. Replacing a wax ring is one of those repairs that sounds a lot worse than it actually is. Once you understand the process and take your time, you can knock this out in about an hour. It is a skill that will save you a service call every single time. And honestly, once you have done it once, you will wonder why you ever hesitated. So let us start with getting your workspace ready. Before you do anything else, you need to shut off the water supply to the toilet. Look behind the toilet near the floor and you will see a small shut-off valve. It is usually an oval-shaped handle or quarter-turn ball valve. Turn it clockwise until it stops. If you have an older home and that valve is stuck or feels like it might snap, do not force it. Just go shut off the main water supply to the house instead. I have seen guys break corroded shut-off valves trying to muscle them, and now instead of a wax ring job, they have got water spraying everywhere. Not worth the risk. Once the water is off, flush the toilet and hold the handle down to let as much water drain out of the tank as possible. You are going to hear the tank empty out, and it will not refill because you have cut the supply. Good. Now, before we go any further, let us talk about protecting your workspace. Lay down a couple of old towels or a plastic drop cloth on the floor around the base of the toilet. This is not optional. Old wax rings are sticky and messy, and any residual water in the bowl or tank is going to end up somewhere. Trust me, spending 2 minutes laying down protection now saves you 20 minutes of cleanup later. I also recommend having a 5-gallon bucket nearby, a pair of rubber gloves, a putty knife, some old rags, and a garbage bag. You will thank me for the garbage bag when it comes time to get rid of that old wax ring. Now we need to get every last drop of water out of this toilet. You already flushed it once, but there is still water sitting in the bottom of the tank and in the bowl. For the tank, take a large sponge or a few old towels and soak up whatever is left in there. Get it as dry as you can. For the bowl, here is what works for me. I take a disposable cup and bail out as much water as I can into the bucket, then I use the sponge to get the rest. Some guys use a wet-dry vacuum, which honestly is even faster if you have one handy. The goal here is to get that bowl as empty as possible, because when you lift this toilet off the floor, any water left inside is coming with it. And if the bowl is full, you are looking at about 1.5 gallons of water that wants to spill all over your bathroom floor. That is the mess we are trying to avoid. Take the extra 5 minutes. Get it dry. By the way, if you are finding this helpful, you should know this is just a taste of what I have put into my book, 50 Easy Plumbing Fixes That Will Save You $10,000. It covers everything from leaky faucets to running toilets, step by step with diagrams. You can grab your copy by scanning the QR code on screen right now, or just use the first link in the description below. All right, let us keep going. Here is the step that makes most people nervous, actually lifting the toilet off the floor. But if you do it right, there is nothing to worry about. First, disconnect the water supply line from the bottom of the tank. You will need an adjustable wrench or a pair of channel locks for this. Put a rag underneath the connection point because a little water is going to dribble out. Lefty-loosey, just like always. Next, pop the caps off the 2 closet bolts at the base of the toilet. These are the bolts that hold the toilet to the floor, one on each side. They usually have little plastic covers that you can pry off with a flathead screwdriver. Once those caps are off, use a 1/2-inch wrench or deep socket to remove the nuts. If the bolts spin when you try to loosen the nuts, grab the bolt with a pair of pliers and hold it still while you turn the nut. If they are rusted solid and will not budge, here is a trick I have used 100 times. Spray them with penetrating oil. Give it about 10 minutes and try again. If they are truly seized, you can cut them off with a mini hacksaw. Do not worry, new bolts come with the wax ring kit. Now, the big moment. You are going to lift the toilet straight up off the bolts. Here is the key. Lift with your legs. Keep your back straight and pull it straight up. Do not tilt it or rock it side to side. A standard toilet weighs somewhere between 60 and 80 pounds, so if you have got a bad back or you are not confident in the weight, get a second pair of hands. There is no shame in that. I have been doing this for 35 years, and I still grab a helper when the toilet is one of those oversized comfort height models. Once you have it up and clear of the bolts, here is the critical part. Set the toilet down on its side, on top of those towels you laid out earlier. Some guys set it upside down on the rim, but I do not recommend that. Porcelain can chip easily on hard tile. On its side resting on the towels is the safest position, and stuff a rag into the open drain hole in the floor right away. This does two things. It keeps sewer gas from coming up into your bathroom, and it prevents you from dropping a bolt or a tool down the drain. Now you are looking at the old wax ring, and it is probably not pretty. You will see a ring of yellowish-brown wax stuck to the top of the flange. Maybe some stuck to the bottom of the toilet, too. Take your putty knife and scrape off all the old wax from both surfaces. Get it all, every bit of it. I use the garbage bag right next to me and scrape the wax directly into it. Old wax is sticky, it gets on everything, and it does not wash off easily. Gloves are your best friend here. Once the wax is cleared, inspect the closet flange carefully. This is the round plastic or metal ring that sits on top of the drain pipe in the floor. Look for cracks, breaks, or any sections where the flange is sitting below the level of the finished floor. The top of the flange should be flush with, or slightly above the floor surface. If it is sitting a 1/4 inch or more below the floor, you are going to need a flange extender or an extra thick wax ring to make up the difference. Also check that the flange is solidly attached to the floor. Grab it and try to wiggle it. If it moves, you need to secure it with new screws before you go any further. A loose flange is the #1 reason wax rings fail prematurely. While you are down there, check the condition of the drain pipe opening. Make sure there is no debris, old wax, or anything blocking it. A clean, solid flange is the foundation of a leak-free seal. Take your new wax ring out of the packaging. I recommend using an extra thick wax ring with a built-in polyethylene funnel. The funnel helps direct waste straight into the drain and gives you a better seal, especially if your flange is sitting slightly below the floor. Set the wax ring on top of the flange with the funnel side pointing down into the drain. Press it gently into place so it sticks, but do not smash it flat. You want it to compress when the toilet sits down on it, not before. Some folks prefer to stick the wax ring to the bottom of the toilet instead. That works too, but I find it easier to place it on the flange because it stays put while you are maneuvering the toilet. If you go the toilet mount route, just make sure the wax ring is centered around the horn, which is the small outlet on the bottom of the toilet where waste exits. Also, now is the time to set your new closet bolts into the flange slots. Slide them into the grooves on opposite sides so they are sticking straight up, evenly spaced. You can put a little dab of plumber's putty at the base to hold them upright while you lower the toilet. This way, the bolts are ready and waiting when you set the toilet back down. All right, this is the most important step in the whole job. You are going to lift the toilet, Line it up over those 2 closet bolts and lower it straight down. Do not guess on this. Before you lift the toilet, get down and visually note where those bolts are. Some guys even mark the bolt positions on the floor with tape so they can see them while they are holding the toilet. You only get one shot at this. Once the toilet touches the wax ring, the seal is made. If you set it down crooked and have to pick it up and try again, you need a brand new wax ring. The old one is already compressed and will not seal properly a second time. Lower the toilet slowly and steadily, guiding the bolt holes on the base over the closet bolts. When you feel it contact the wax ring, press straight down with firm, even pressure. I usually sit on the toilet and rock my weight gently forward and back, side to side, to compress the wax evenly. You will feel it settle down till the base is resting flat on the floor. Do not stomp on it or jump on it. Just steady, even weight. Once the toilet is seated, slide the washers and nuts onto the closet bolts and tighten them by hand. Then use your wrench to snug them up, alternating side to side, a little at a time. Here is where people break toilets. If you over-tighten these nuts, you will crack the porcelain base. Snug is the word. When you feel solid resistance, stop. If the bolts are sticking up too high above the nuts, cut them off with a hacksaw so the decorative caps will fit back on. Pull that rag out of the drain before you forget. I have left rags in drains exactly one time in my career, and that was enough to teach me the lesson permanently. Now, reconnect the water supply line to the bottom of the tank. Hand tighten it first, then snug it up with your wrench. A quarter turn past hand tight is all you need. Turn the shutoff valve back on slowly and let the tank fill up. Watch the supply line connection for any drips while it fills. Once the tank is full, flush the toilet and get down on the floor. Look all around the base for any water. Check the supply line connection again. Flush it 2 or 3 more times. If everything is dry, you are golden. Let us go over some issues you might run into and how to handle them. First, water seeping around the base after you have reset the toilet. This usually means the wax ring did not seal properly. It could be that the toilet shifted during installation, or the wax ring was not centered. Unfortunately, the fix is to pull the toilet and start over with a new wax ring. That is exactly why getting the alignment right the first time matters so much. Second, the toilet rocks after installation. A rocking toilet will eventually break the wax seal, guaranteed. If the floor is uneven, use plastic toilet shims, the kind you can get at any hardware store for about $2. Slide them in where the gap is, trim the excess with a utility knife, and then run a bead of clear silicone caulk around the base to keep them in place. Third, a sewer smell that will not go away, even after the new ring is installed. Check that your flange is not cracked below where you can see it. Also make sure the wax ring is the right thickness. If the flange is recessed, a standard ring might not be making full contact. Switch to an extra thick ring or add a flange extender. Fourth, closet bolts that will not tighten down. This usually means the flange slot is worn out or the bolt is not seated in the track properly. Pull the toilet, reseat the bolts, or install a flange repair ring that gives you fresh bolt slots. Fifth, a cracked flange. If you find a crack in the flange during inspection, do not just slap a wax ring on it and hope for the best. Install a flange repair bracket or a full replacement flange. This is a $15 part that prevents hundreds of dollars in water damage down the road. Here is that bonus tip I promised at the beginning. Consider using a wax-free toilet seal instead of a traditional wax ring. Brands like Fluid Master and Sani Seal make rubber gasket-style seals that compress and create a watertight connection without any wax at all. The big advantage is that if you ever need to pull the toilet again for any reason, the seal is reusable. You do not have to scrape off old wax and buy a new ring every time. They also work better than wax in situations where the flange is slightly above or below floor level, because the rubber adjusts to the gap. I have been using wax-free seals on my own jobs for the last several years and have not had a single callback. They cost a few dollars more than a traditional wax ring, usually around $8 to $12 compared to $3 to $5 for wax. But the convenience and reliability are worth every penny. If you are doing this job for the first time, a wax-free seal is actually more forgiving, because even if you need to reposition the toilet, you can lift it and try again without replacing the seal. That wraps it up. If this was useful, you will love the full book. 50 step-by-step plumbing fixes with diagrams, all in one guide. Link is below. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the next video. Thanks for watching.